Hello and welcome back to my channel. Here we like to do things budget friendly, and if you are like me and have champagne taste but on a beer budget, these videos are for you. Today is going to be a Temu haul and also some house cleaning. So obviously you guys will see that my background is switched around again. I am back to my original filming space, so no need to correct your eyes. We are flip-flopped again. I did a lot of organizing as of late, and so I did move my space back to where it was. I just think lighting over here was better for filming. So this is where we're back at again. Also, I have some Christmas cards I want to give some thanks for some of you gals who have sent me some Christmas cards. I have some fun facts for you today, as well as a little bit of what I've been up to lately with a tiny little request. Let's start off a little lighthearted with some fun facts. So last video we did talk about some slugs. Well, I'm just going to continue talking about some slugs. So slugs can crawl over an upright razor and not get cut. Most slugs' bodies are basically just a large foot. And they use slime for movement, self-defense, and navigation. The ghost slug has blade-like teeth that it uses to eat earthworms. Just in case you wanted to know what they eat, which I was, kind of questioning, like, what do you eat? Never Googled it, never looked into it, but now we know. Now we know. All right, let's get into some Christmas cards I did receive. This one is from Miss Annette, and this is just a cute little vintage card. This looks like something that I would have received probably when I was a young child. It says inside, "Hope Christmas finds you happy and leaves you merry," from Annette. So thank you, Annette, for that. I did receive one from Miss Jen over at Just Jen, and it says, "Let us rejoice in his love and belief in his love." Merry Christmas, Jen, with the nativity scene. If you do not visit Jen, please check out her channel at Just Jen. She is in love with these types of scenes, and the nativity is one of her favorite types of prints in Christmas cards and home decor. So it is not surprising to me that she would send me out a card with a nativity scene on it. I do have a card from Miss Nancy as well. Home for the holidays, with this cute little doggy in the back of a truck with his Christmas tree. And this one inside says, "May the peace and joy of holiday season be with you. Merry Christmas to you and your family," from Nancy. And I do have another one from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and she says, "Please do not read on air." So to respect her wishes, I am not going to read it on air, but just so you know, I did receive it, and I give you great many thanks for your kind words, and everyone who has sent me a Christmas card. I absolutely love that. Now, I've been in my crafting era, and so I did design a box that I will be putting your Christmas cards in. So I do have last year's Christmas cards already in here. So I do have a little stash of my cards from friend mail or Christmas from you guys, my viewers. Now, sadly, Jen, yours is very long, so it's not going to fit in there as snug as a bug in a rug. But This is this is a box that I did design. I was kind of just putzing around, putting things together. It's not squared, it's not centered, it's just me playing around that day. And this is what I ended up coming up with. So it's got some pockets in there, and it is what it is, and it's not perfect, so please don't judge my crafting skills, okay? But that is where everybody's cards are going to be going until it gets too full, and then I have to figure out something else. A little bit more house cleaning. I am having watery eye galore just in this eye. Just in this eye. And so I'm going to film from a distance so you guys can't see it. I pointed it out so you don't have to. Any whoozy whatsy, the holidays are typically very hard, and this year has just kind of been exponentially so. We've got divide with family and friends over one issue or another, and that's extremely sad that we can't come together and set those differences aside and come together as the family and friends that we once were. So that has been an issue. Of course, I've never really been able to spend time with my family since I was young because my family lived so far away, and they would all get together, and I either had to work day before or day after Christmas. So I could never make that road trip to travel and do that. And that's sad when you work retail. That's their expectations. You can never take a week off or 3 or 4 days off within a holiday. So if you guys work retail, you know. And that has kind of been my story for the last 20 years or so. Now, we also are experiencing issues over here in Minnesota when we come across, bad weather, and we come across what's going on over here in Minnesota. These last couple of days have also been really, really hard. And all of that kind of takes an emotional toll on people. And so this year's kind of been really, really hard. I haven't done my nails. I've been chewing on my nails. I've been bleeding. I've been like tearing everything apart. Anxiety levels are high. And for me, in order to get over that hump, to get over that feeling of just frustration and feeling alone on holidays and being frustrated with what's going on, what I've been trying to do is 2 things. Number 1, organizing my space so that when I am in my space, whether it's upstairs, downstairs, in a bedroom, in a family room, if I'm looking for something in a closet, whatever it is, I want to walk into that space and have it be zen, right? I don't want to walk into a kitchen that is completely disgusting where you just look at it and go, I'll take care of it tomorrow, but then tomorrow, and then the next day, and the next day, and the next day builds. So I'm trying to make sure that every space in my house is clean and organized. So if you are going through somewhat of mental trials and tribulations, this can be very, very helpful for people to have at least one space in your home where you can sit and you can just relax, and it's a happy place for you to stay. So that's one of the things that I have been working on. Next thing I have been working on, and this is something that you guys can do in your hometown, is going out to adoption centers for animals. Now, this year has been extremely hard on adoption centers because of the influx of animals, because if you think about during COVID, we had a lot of people adopting animals, and now everybody's going back to work, and the economy kind of plummeted, and cost of having an animal is difficult. And People maybe took home an animal that they didn't realize would need more care than they expected, or it grew larger than they expected. For whatever reason, there's a huge influx right now in animal shelters. So one of the things that you can do to really help these animals out, if you cannot adopt and if you cannot donate money, you can donate time. So what I've been doing is I've been going into a couple of different shelters near me. I will just go in there and I will say, what is your most difficult case right now? Meaning an animal that has extreme anxiety, extreme fear, maybe it has some sort of an issue where it's just been difficult for them to be adopted. And being in these adoption shelters can be very stressful and very hard on an animal. So taking them out of that kennel or that crate or that little tiny room, spending a day with them, taking them out for walks, playing with them. If they are an older dog, maybe just sitting there, talking to them, snuggling with them, maybe watching your favorite YouTubes and just sitting with that animal and just giving it a little bit of time spent in a little bit more of an area that they can feel safe and loved, and just to give them a little bit of calmness and peace. And all you have to do is walk in and say, I need to know what animal I can spend time with today. And they are usually pretty good about it. And most of the time, they're just going to be so grateful that somebody is coming in to help. Now, they always have people that work there, and they will always have people who are kind of signed up for their volunteer programs, but a little extra help is always needed, especially right now. Now, my background, for those of you who are new and maybe don't know me, I did go to veterinary tech school for a little bit, and I couldn't follow through with the program because of several reasons. A lot of it had to do with the atmosphere of what a veterinary office is really more or less designed around. And I think a lot of it comes down to corporate greed. I understand, and you may disagree, and I'm totally fine with that, is that a vet will often tell you that your dog needs every vaccination, every shot out there, and needs all of this medical stuff, when in all actuality, it should be case by case by case, right? We don't want to pump ourselves full of all of this crap, right? So if your doctor says you should get the COVID shot, if you are not a COVID shot supporter, you can say, no, I don't want that crap in my body, okay? But these vets will push this kind of stuff, and you really don't know how this is going to work with your animals a lot of the times. And sometimes they can not go well and can be more harmful than good. And so a lot of times, if you as a pet owner say, no, I don't want to do this, there is a lot of negative smack being talked about you in the back when you're not listening. And I don't like that. I do not like that atmosphere. I think it is just an awful place to be. And my goal is to actually help animals and not help pad pockets. So that's where I am at in my journey to help animals. So number one, it gets you out of the house. Number two, it gets you out of the house without spending money. So getting out of the house and going shopping as therapy costs money. But as therapy, you can get out of the house, donate your time, feel good about what you're doing, help animals, and get therapy all at the same time. All at the same time, and you're doing a wonderful thing for these animals. Now, further adding to that, I do work with the more difficult cases because I do know a little bit more than your average Joe about animal behaviors, about their cues, their signals, and a little bit more of how to be with an animal that is scared, reserved, and not pushing a pet, not pushing a snuggle, and just allowing them to to make those decisions for you. Like, hey, I'm going to come over to you. I want a pet. Hey, I'm going to sit in your lap. I need a snuggle. And a lot of positive reinforcements. I've been able to train some animals in some fabulous ways, and I've always been able to do it with positive reinforcements and things of that nature. And so I kind of have a better understanding about dogs and cats because I've worked more with dogs, but that's why I specifically choose to work with the harder cases. Now, obviously, if that's not for you, there's lots and lots and lots of dogs and cats that need some snuggle time, some cuddle time, some play time. So obviously there's a lot of different options out there. They've got puppies, they've got small breeds, they've got large breeds, all kinds of animals that you can choose to donate some time to. And I think that is just a wonderful and fabulous thing to do right now. All of that being said, there's one cutie patootie that I did come across, and her story just gut wrenches me to filth, right? She was adopted out twice and returned twice. And the last person that had dropped her off gave this huge long story as to why this person was returning this poor little doggy, and said it was due to human and animal aggression. Now, think about that for a second. If you wanted to go out and adopt a dog and it was labeled to have human or animal aggression, would you adopt that dog? Just throwing it out there. Not very many people would, okay? So this poor little girl, her name is Pebbles. She was almost like, this gal didn't even want to bring this dog out to me. I don't know what her deal was. She was either late teens or early 20s. And she was talking to me about this whole intake process, about all the information that the previous owner had said about her. They would put a muzzle on her face, one of those basket muzzles, okay? In vet tech school, we learn that the last thing you want to do is muzzle an animal or scruff them, because those two particular things can cause fear and aggression all in and of itself, okay? The other thing that they would do is they would shove her in a kennel whenever anybody came over, whenever there was any particular instance that they didn't like that this dog was maybe possibly doing, they would shove her in a kennel. And I don't do crate training. I don't believe in it unless it's absolutely necessary. Let's say, for example, you have a dog that has got huge anxiety issues and they will tear apart the house and injure themselves and mess up your house. Then I believe at that point in time, a kennel would be necessary. But my beliefs, not pushing that on anybody. The next thing that they would do is they would blow a whistle whenever this dog did something that they didn't want the dog to do. You're in a fearful state. You've been muzzled, you've been kenneled, and you've had loud, sharp noises blared at you. What is that going to do? So I told the gal, I said, so everything wrong was done with this dog, and not a moment of time was taken to try to understand her and work with her in a more positive way. And the girl was like, oh, well, no, this is all good stuff. This is what you should do. And then she said that the owner would have people go up to her while she was kenneled in her kennel with a muzzle on and put their hand up to the kennel. And he said, you never want to do that. You never want to force yourself into a dog's space if they were already fearful. And she said, oh, no, this is fine. I said, okay. I'm working with one of those know-it-all teenagers. I didn't want to say anything, and I didn't want to push my point. And I said, well, let's go ahead and pull her out. I would love to meet her. Dog came into the room. Instantly, she ran to me, crawled in my lap, started giving me kisses, wanted loves and affection, and everything right off the bat. I don't know. After I spent over an hour with this dog, I gave the intake person like this huge laundry list of all the behaviors that I observed, all of the little commands that she knows, the things that she liked, you know, the belly rubs, the ear scratches, whatever it might have been, all of the things that we did together. She would give me kisses. One of the cute little things that she did, which is something that my dog does, is my dog will zero in, only one of them will zero in on any of my boo-boos that I have. And she'll stick her nose up to it and she'll sniff it. She'll be like, Mom, you have a boo-boo. This little doggy did the same exact thing. And it was like right then and there, right then and there. This dog has so much to offer, and that stain and that stigma of being labeled as a human aggressor and an animal aggressor is going to follow her. And this intake person wasn't listening to a damn thing I said, wasn't taking any notes, nothing. And I just thought there's something I can do for her. So I have put together a GoFundMe, and I will link it in the description box down below. I will pin it in a comment. I am looking to raise $490 altogether, and this will be just for her adoption fee only. Now, the reason I am doing this is because I was not prepared to adopt another animal at all. My home is perfectly adept to have another animal. We've got plenty of treats, food, everything, dog beds, toys, you name it, we have it. My dogs are they are very spoiled. So they have it all, and so will this little doggy. The problem is winter, car accidents, car repairs. My other daughter has had stuff that she needed help on, and that a lot of that has put you know, a great big pinch in our penny bank right now. And so I just really and her story did touch Israel's heart as well, and he never thought in a million years that he would allow another dog in this house. Told me years ago when I asked for another dog, he said, another dog will come into this house the day you move out. So I'll have 4 dogs and 1 less you if another dog comes into this house, right? But her story touched him, and he said, if you raise the money for her, she can come here. So that's what I'm trying to do. And when winter kind of settles out and the housing market comes back up again, when all of this other crap that's going on here in Minnesota dies down and our businesses can pick up again, because we are also real estate agents. Winter is kind of a hard patch for real estate agents. Finances won't be an issue, but currently they are, and this girl needs help more or less sooner rather than later. So that's why I'm doing it, long story short. So if 98 people donate $5, she will be able to come home with me. And obviously we'll keep you posted. And if she is able to come home with me, obviously she's going to have her own little updates and probably make her own cameo appearances, just like my little koi fish, who is probably taking a nap in her room right now. So any help that you offer would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Now let's get into this Temu. I've talked so damn much. Got to put a little something down my gullet here so I can speak again. Now, I'm going to try these on at the end of the video, but I have a couple of wigs. Now, I'm going to keep them both because the first one I'm going to show you, Israel actually really liked this wig on me because I kind of am looking for this wolf cut type of wig. I did find one on Temu. It is kind of as pictured, but kind of not. So the first original picture was obviously a woman's actual bio hair styled, and then the following photos were the wig. And I knew that going into it. But this is a hard front. This is a open wefted, bra strap adjusters, no combs, very simple wig. And it is definitely a wolf cut, so it has all of these little layers in it. It does have the permatease up at the top, so definitely something I prefer is permatease over that little spiral kind of part that they sometimes do. I can definitely work with permatease. This is the front of it with these wispy bangs. This is not styled. I didn't take any kind of heat tool to it, nothing. Now, I prefer this on me with a headband, but I do like it. I do like it both ways, but I do prefer this particular style with a headband, unless maybe I do add a little bit of more volume in the bangs. We'll see. But this is number one, and you can refer to the photos as to, maybe I'll put it over here, photos, what it was supposed to be, which I think is pretty spot on. You guys, wait until you see this next one. Now, who doesn't like a good mullet? Said no one ever. Except for me. Because told you, I have lost my freaking marbles lately. Just lost it, right? Stella's trying to get her groove back. So I've been wanting to maybe look into a mullet. So I found a mullet. Here's that stupid spiral thing I was telling you about. I knew that that's what it was going to have. But if you know the difference between a permatease and the stupid spiral, that's what I'm talking about, okay? Anywhoosie whatsy, I think this would potentially look better if it fit me better. The cap is very basic, another hard front, no combs, bra strap adjusters, open wefted. And I think it fits me just a little bit too small, or if it had clips, which I can sew them in, I could maybe get a little bit better coverage here, but it doesn't have a lot of good coverage here. And this needs heat styling. I mean, she needs help, right? What I would do is I would come in here and I would relax out the kink, and I would maybe add curl in here instead, because of the way it was packaged. It has got a little bit more attitude than it would originally, but she's got some attitude. Color-wise, it's not horrible. It is kind of got a little bit of highlights and lowlights in it, so it does have some nice dimension in it, especially for it being a Temu wig. There were two different options. The more golden one I assumed was going to be pretty yellow gold, even though this is pretty yellow gold, but this one is the more toned down one. This one I could get away with. Again, I prefer it with a headband, but overall, Israel finds it extremely comical, which I'm sure you will too. But I will try these on at the end of the video, because I'm already looking like a disheveled mess with a boogery eye, and all the last thing I want to do is struggle bus with this, putting this wig back on and making it look decent again. Okay, now, Temu time, the rest of the Temu time. I ordered a handful of things, no rhyme or reason, okay? This is just, everything in here is just completely random. This is an area rug that you can get that is, you can cut it down. And basically, if you have a room that's got no carpet in it, you can put this down. It has adhesive to it, so you take off this little foil here, and then it will self-adhere to the floor. Now, I got this because originally my bedroom, this was one of the spaces that I tore apart. Originally my bedroom was so small that with my queen size bed in it, I could only walk, I only had like a foot of walking space. And it was really frustrating because I felt like I was shoved into a sardine can, and it was just not a zen space for me. So I took which is down here, this whole downstairs area, and back behind the camera that way is now my new bedroom, where I can actually make my bed without it being butted up against a wall. Because if you know, you know. Oh, it's so hard. But that carpet in that room, I had to tear apart because we had an overflow in the laundry room drain, and the carpet got ruined, and I didn't have enough flooring when I did this space down here to continue with that bedroom, because I had no intention of doing it, so I didn't buy the flooring for it. So I've been having to stay in a bedroom that has just raw concrete. So I thought I would try this and see if I liked it as just a quick fix. And now that my bedroom space has changed, this is something that I will definitely hang on to and use whenever I decide to do a space with this. Even my front entryway, that's just laminate flooring, and not like the nice laminate, but the I should say linoleum flooring, like the old school linoleum flooring. Maybe this would be a great way to kind of revamp that entryway even. This is more of like I think like a heavier duty type of carpet pile fiber that would be very easy to vacuum, which is what I wanted because of pet hair and stuff like that. So anyway, that's what I got this for. And it was under 10 bucks for this roll. And so if you have a really small space, this is a really inexpensive way to add carpet to an uncarpeted space, which is nice because things are so expensive right now. So throwing that out there. Next item is this. This is my fault. 1000% my fault. I didn't measure. So in every space down here in this downstairs area, and also where my little bedroom was, a lot of the real estate in this downstairs area is being taken up by the foundation. I did paint everything down here, but I didn't paint in the little bedroom. And I wanted to kind of dress up the top of the foundation with this. But this is about 6 inches too short. 6 inches too short. That's my fault. Okay, do as I say, not as I do. Measure things. I think even this was the largest one, or the widest one, I should say. Lengthwise, it would have been perfect length. And anyway, it looks like marble. Basically, it looks like marble. And that's what it was actually pictured as, was being used for the top ledge of a foundation. Came across and I thought, oh, that's a great idea. I should try that. Well, now I'm going to have to find a different use for it. Next, I think a lot of you are going to really be able to appreciate this. I think a lot of you are really going to be able to appreciate this. Now, if you have menstrual cramps, if you have back aches, if you have just a general muscle ache, heating pads are really, really, really good to relax your muscles. Plus a vibration, right? You add the two together and it's like, ah, right? Obviously it doesn't take care of everything, but it is extremely helpful. So what I found is this portable heater slash massager. And you can use obviously heat pads while you're sitting at home that are connected to the wall, but you can't, you obviously can't walk around with that. So also there are these wonderful things called thermacare patches. They're getting up there in price. Oh yeah, they're like $15 for a 3-pack, or you can go to the Dollar Tree. They're about $1.25 for one. So that's a great place to find them, FYI. But this one also has massage, which obviously those don't. So this is going to be a great little product. This has a power button, intensity button for the massage, and then an up and down level for heat. And it does work. I did plug it in, works like a charm. I do not know how long the battery would last, but cost effective wise, more cost effective than a thermacare, probably more relaxing with that massage feature than the thermacare. So for a girly on a go, I would highly recommend that. I heard some noises upstairs, so I had to pause for the cause. My daughter had come to visit. So I am back, and that was probably just a second for you, but I'm gonna show you the next product that I have. This guy smells really funky. I'm not even gonna tell you what this smells like because it's not an appropriate thing for me to tell you, but just know that it smells pretty funky. Maybe it's just the packaging that smells funky. I don't know. Now that I take it out, it doesn't smell that funky. Anyway, it's kind of this hard plasticky resin, and it's a hand that holds this little test tube type of thing, and you can put flowers in there, or you can put like a little bit of water in there, and you could do like a little vine, and then you connect it to a wall. So then you would have it like up here. And I thought that would kind of be cute for my decor back there, and put like a little bit of dry florals in there or something like that. Now, I think it looks kind of more human-like than I would probably prefer it as some sort of decor. But it is pretty much as pictured. And like I said, this is a hard resin, and then the little test tube itself is a plastic, so you don't have to worry about it. If it falls off the wall for any reason whatsoever, that it would shatter and break. And then it does come with a screw and then an anchor. Although me personally, I would probably anchor it a little bit differently with something a little bit more substantial if I was to actually hang this on the wall, because it is kind of heavy-ish, and I don't want it to rip out of the wall for any reason, especially because I have a curious kitty. And so for me, I will be anchoring it differently personally, but it's cute. It's cute. It would be cute for holiday decor as well, probably like Halloween maybe, or something like that. Next piece is this, and this came awful squishy squashed. But this is kind of like a faux Lego set, and this is a camera. Now, if you don't know me, I do have a lot of kind of vintagey, antique-y kind of things in my upstairs. I do have like this kind of steampunk thing, but I am really kind of specific in the kinds of vintage or antique pieces that I have. But one of my collections is a vintage camera collection. It's not huge, it's just a small handful of pieces that fit along my mantelpiece right underneath my TV, above my fireplace upstairs. So I thought, just as another way to kind of keep my mind off of things and be entertained, I can do this little Lego piece set. It does come with instructions and stickers that I did drop. What are the stickers? Oh, the stickers are the little camera lenses. So that's what the little stickers are. And then of course the little instructions that come with it. So pretty much similar to the type of instructions that you would see when you do any kind of type of Lego set. But again, the package came super smashed up. But there was several different options of different types of cameras within this listing. And this is one of my more favorite type of cameras, so that's why I picked this one. And it does have some floral pieces on it as well. Now, again, several different types of cameras, but they all have some sort of floral design on it. Now, will I put it up on my mantelpiece with the other cameras? I don't know, but I thought because it's kind of a thing of mine that it would be kind of fun, and it was relatively inexpensive. 335 pieces, and they are itsy bitsy teeny tiny pieces. So probably not for a small child, but if you were to give a gift to an older child, I think that would be a great one, especially one who likes to do Lego sets. So I will at some point get it put together and show you what it looks like when it's done, when I get around to it. Next up is a piece that I have not opened yet, so I'm really hoping that this is as pictured. And I know Miss April from April's Menopause and Madness will probably love something like this. So if you're watching, girly, you might like this. It actually is pretty close to as pictured. What is it? It is a pen, a writing pen, and it's got two different crystals on it. And this does look, well, the top crystal might not be a crystal, could be a resin. Could be a resin. You kind of never know, but they look pretty realistic anyways, with a little bit of faux moss on it. And then the majority of it looks like wood. Could be real wood. Looks like it could be real wood. Kind of hard to tell. Like from here, the bark here doesn't look realistic, so that could be painted. How does it write? Let's find out. Let's see. How do you write? Do I want to write in you? Let's write in you. Oh, nice. Nice and smooth. So it works. Functioning pen, pretty, aesthetically pleasing. What I like about this is that it's bigger than most pens. For whatever reason, I have a hard time holding on to regular size pens. So a little bit thicker of a pen is lovely to have. I have, this is my other fun pen that I did pick up from Temu like a long time ago. When I was going to school for veterinary, and it says the COVID-19 vaccine on it, which I thought was kind of funny at the time. But that's what it says. It's almost like the liquid is kind of dissipated a little bit, but this is the pen I've been using. It also kind of doubles as a fidgeter because of the little plunger, but it's nice to have a couple of pens that I can work with a little bit better than your regular skinny pen. So that's why I got that. All right, this one, not as pictured, tinier than expected, and not very awesome, amazing. I mean, I'll put it up in a corner somewhere, but it's supposed to be a night light. It's supposed to be a night light, and I think it changes colors. Down here is the light sensor at the bottom. And I just don't like the greenery. I just don't. Now, maybe I could pull the greenery out and maybe put something else in there. But I think the little lights are just these three little mushrooms. Now, I'll put a picture up. What it's supposed to look like. That's, I don't know, disappointed in this one. LED light does change colors. Doesn't say anything else fabulous about it in English that I can read. Low carbon, new concept. Maybe it's supposed to last a year. It says 0.2 watts a year, 1 kilowatt. And that's about it. I don't know. I'm not impressed with this one. Not one I would recommend. Nope, 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 nope. Not one I would recommend. What else do we have in here? I'm just kind of pulling out here. Whatever I can find. Ooh, this one. Okay. This is perfect for this situation right now. I just bought these like random little things because I had a coupon. Oh, fabulous. Completely broken. Well, one isn't broken. Well, it kind of is broken. Oh, jeepers. Oh, jeepers. All right. What is it, Faith? All right, it's this weird little thing. You don't want to do a manicure, you can hide it with these random little things. Ay, ay, ay. Well, not as pictured is, but it isn't. I can find different uses for it. Again, I'm gonna have to get real creative with some of this stuff that isn't working for me because this one is broken into 3 pieces. I do have a little mini soldering tool that I haven't tried yet. That one's also a dud. I got Temu'd twice so far. Temu struck again. Let's move on to the next product. All right, here's a fun, funky, random little bit of goofiness to brighten your day if you work on computers all day and you need something to look at and smile about. These are little keyboard stickers. And they've got little cats on them, but they're not for every key on your keyboard. It's only for tab, delete, return, cap lock, shift, and command, option, function, control, and your space bar. And this is what they look like. I mean, look at some of these. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. I mean, if you work with computers and you just need a little giggle, I'm gonna put this in my drawer here so that when I'm done filming, I can put them on my keyboard. But I just thought it was kind of fun. Kind of fun. What else do we have? Oh, these. These are going to be lovely. If you have the type of drawstrings that don't come with like the little metal tips and you would like to have the drawstrings with little metal tips, this is a kit that you can do that with. This is a set of bloop, 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 10 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 10 pieces actually means 10 sets. I'm actually surprised. So a lot of times when they say 10 pieces, you get 10 pieces all together, which would equate to 5 sets or something like that. But this is actually all of them. So what you'll do is you'll take out your drawstrings, you'll slide this through, and then you take this little end and you clamp it on to the material, the very end of the material, and it's got a closure like this. And then you slide this in, and as you slide this in, it will clamp down. There's some pointy pokey ends at the bottom there that will hold on to that material so that you can actually have the little metal ends, which if your drawstrings pull out of specific things like your hoodies, your sweatpants, things like that, having these little metal tips kind of makes it a little bit easier for you to feed that back through. If they pull out, which makes it nice. Also, it kind of dresses it up, makes it look a little bit more polished off. And I think there was a couple of different colors. I chose the silver, clearly, obviously. Obviously, Faith, we can see it. We're not blind. What are you? Ooh, here's another super random thing. This is a bracelet. This is a bracelet. This is how you wear it. So what would you call that, a bracelet? Would you call that a handlet? What would you call that? What does it say? Nothing. Product number. That's it. That's it. Just gives you a product number. But anyway, that's what it is. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. I'll wear it for the rest of the film. Let's find out what's in the rest of this bag. There's just a handful of more pieces. Moving on. Okay, this one is kind of cool. This one is better than expected, as pictured, but better than expected because you know, I know, we all know, we hardly get what's pictured anymore. But this is pretty stinking close. So this is basically like if you want to bejewel or bedazzle like some type of cosmetics bottle, a lotion bottle, a pen, a vase, a jar, something like that, and you don't want to put every little bead and trinket on there individually with glue, you can get something like this. And this has an adhesive tape on the back that you just have to remove the backing. Now it's not super long, but it was also not super expensive. So if you wanted to jazz up like a small perfume bottle or something like that, if you were a crafty person, you get, looks like maybe about a yard, 3 feet, maybe less than a yard, maybe more about, well, let's see. If I was to look at it, maybe 2.5 feet. So not a ton, but it is absolutely beautiful. It's got some white beads, silver beads, pink beads, and then it's got the stones in it, which are just your inexpensive, hand-dyed agate, so they're like the least expensive stones out there. If you were to be a stone collector, agates are really pretty inexpensive and very, very easy to come by. All these bright, vibrant colors with an agate do not come naturally. They do dye them, so they are imitationally dyed. They are not real colors that you would find. So I'm going to tuck that in my new crafting space that I've also created and organized, which is lovely to have everything all in one spot, easy to get to, labeled. I mean, you want to talk about organization queen. I can make a little space like work with a bunch of stuff. That's me. Oh, this. I gotta grab that from upstairs. I forgot. I need to bring that downstairs. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. This one. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put these on my daughter's car and see how long it takes her to figure out that they're there. They are little caps for your tires. So you put those where if you were to air up your tire on your car, they're the little cap, the tire caps. And they're little duckies. You can get them in different colors. It does come with all 4, thankfully. And it's red. So again, you can get different colors, but her car is red. I don't know why a teenager's first car would be red, but that was her choice. And she hasn't been pulled over yet, that I know of. That I know of. But I'm gonna put those on her car and see how long it takes her to find them. And if she says anything, I don't know. She typically doesn't when I sneak things in her room or something like that. I've got, how many more things in here? I think that's it. I think that's it. What else? What else? Let me go upstairs and I'm going to grab the one piece I really want to show you because I'm kind of excited about it because it's been very popular and I have been influenced by influencers, specifically Keely Joy and her channel. She has hauled one of these and I want to show it to you and kind of give you my thoughts about it. If you are not new here, you will know my love for Moissanite. I love that it's easy to come by, it's inexpensive, but it is so diamond-like. You can't go wrong. If you are bougie on a budget, try Moissanite. Try Moissanite. Diamond testers can't even tell the difference between Moissanite and diamond. So just FYI. This little goodie was not only super affordable, but it is GRA certified. So it is definitely a certified Moissanite piece. What does that mean? It means that it will come with a GRA certification card. Do I keep these? No, I don't keep these. Then it has the report, the GRA Moissanite report in it as well. And it is one of the rings that kind of looks like you have this subdermally implanted, because the band on it is just this clear band. Now, I was thinking that it was potentially going to be stretchy, kind of like a rubber band, but it is not. It is just kind of like a clear, clear twine. It's not really wiry because wire is moldable. I don't know how to explain it to you. It's not moldable and it's not stretchy. So if you got it in a particular size, that's its size, okay? It's not adjustable, basically is what I'm getting at. Now, I thought I got it in a size 8, which should have fit this finger, but it doesn't. I could make it fit. I could make it fit. I could put lotion on my finger. I could go stand outside in the cold for a while, let my hand shrink down a little bit and shove that sucker on. I could do that. But currently it fits my 6.5 size finger. It fits my 5 finger. It fits this finger, which is the one I had it on, and it kind of looked like I had a subdermal implant inside of my water lily tattoo that is like in really bad shape. But that's what it is. And by the looks of it, I think I got a 2 carat. It could be a 3. But Moissanite has that same faceted, shine, brilliance, cut, clarity, you name it. Everything that a diamond does, except for its hardness scale, is just a little bit lower, but not by much, as far as points on the hardness scale goes. So definitely worth checking out if you are bougie on a budget, like I said. And this piece was really, really affordable. So really super pleased with this piece. I really enjoy this one. And I did wear it for a couple of days. And that's what somebody actually asked me, as if it was one of those subdermal implant things. So she was actually kind of curious about it, and it was cute that she had asked me that because she had noticed it right away. This one is for my boo, Mr. Israel, because he shops all of the time over at Aldi, which he did today. If I would have filmed earlier, I could have given it to him, but I didn't film early enough, and it didn't dawn on me that I had one of these in this bag. Oops. What is it? It is a keychain, but it has one of those coins that you put in a cart. So if you are in a place that you go shopping and you need to put a coin in a cart to release it from the stack of carts to go shopping with, that's what this is for. Now, because he does shop so much at Aldi, this would come in clutch for him. Then you have it on your keychain, and you don't have to dig. You don't have to dig for a quarter. I'm just looking at it to see if there's like a release on here. Like, does it have a release? Because it's not, I mean, I don't know if you pulled on it too hard, if it would come out, if you would lose it. I don't know. It's not a tight squeeze. Boy, let me tell you, it's not a tight squeeze, and there isn't a release latch or anything, but it does have an additional hole up at the tippy top. So I suppose if you felt that it wasn't secure enough, you could just take this off and put it on a keychain, like something like this, all on its own. But that's what it is. There were ones that were more frou-frou and frilly and fancy looking for more feminine prints on it, but I didn't want to get him one of those because he's a masculine guy's guy, of course, and he doesn't want to walk around with something that's pink with a flower on it. So that's the one that I got him. But there are a plethora of different options when it comes to these. If you are an Aldi shopper, highly recommend. Next up, to go with my little tiny ring, I also did pick up a little necklace. And I believe Keely Joy, again, girl, you got me, has picked up something like this. Very, very similar, but I think she got hers in the Moissanite pendant, but this is just a little teardrop, acrylic teardrop on that same type of cording that the ring has, but it's got your typical claw clasp with metal adjuster here. And I just thought that something like this would be super cute. Of course, you're not, I am not going to zoom in because nobody wants to see my boogery eyeball right now. You know, it could be, I was trying to figure out why my eyes have been like, I've been waking up with like extra boogery eyes lately. And it just dawned on me, literally just now, like a little light bulb moment. Random. Squirrel. Anyway, I think it's because I've been letting random dogs lick my face. You know what? This is what I tell my mom. If you don't want to get sick as often as you get sick, go eat dirt. Just go eat dirt. You know, sometimes we need to let our kids just eat dirt so that they don't get sick as often, because your body then has the ability to fight off whatever it is it's trying to fight off if it's been thrown at you day in and day out. I don't get sick very often. I don't get sick very often. A little bit now, a little bit more often now than I used to. Even working at Walgreens and around sick people all the time, I hardly got sick because, again, you're around it all day, every day. But I've been letting a lot of random dogs give me lots and lots of besos. And I am all about the puppy besos, boy, let me tell you. And I don't care if you think it's disgusting or gross. If my dogs want to give me besos, I'm all about it. Give me those besos. But you have to wait until I am done wearing this face of makeup because I don't want you to lick it off. That's my only requirement, is you need to wait until I don't care about my makeup coming off. Next up is a beautiful little tool that I really wish I had a lot sooner, because I did install new lights down here. And I do all this kind of electrical stuff and all of this home improvement stuff by myself. And sometimes it's lovely to have an extra hand. But if you are trying to screw something in like this or like this without that extra hand, and your tool doesn't want to hold the screw, I can't tell you how frustrating that is. So this is a little tool that I'm not going to be able to show it to you with this. Let me see if I can get a screwdriver. I know I have one. Got it. My quick emergency tools. So you stick your screwdriver in there, okay? And then you have the screwdriver tip. Go right there. Then you put your screw in there and it holds your screw. Do I have a screw here? I did with a little hand. Where art thou? Found you. See how nice it is to find things when you know where they are? Because everything is so clean and organized. I wish everybody in my house was as organized as I am, but I digress. That's a story for another day. So you put your screw in there like this. Then you can screw this way. You can screw this way. You can screw that way. Get the dirtiness out of your brain, you dirty little dog. If you wanted to screw in every angle, any which way, here's the tool for you. Get your minds out of the gutter. Okay, we had a good laugh now. You Dirty dogs, you. I wish I had this sooner. Under $2. Temu tells you what you need. I'm going to love this thing. I'm gonna love it. Anyway, that's what it is. That's what it's for. Wish I had it sooner. If you are a home improvement, do-it-yourselfer kind of person like I am, you need this. It's the simplest little gadget, but it is worth its weight in gold. Love. Last up, and then I'm going to put on these funky wigs for you. I am on the hunt for this perfect nude, fuller opacity lip gloss that's just gonna knock my socks off and be better than your $30 lip gloss. Am I gonna get that from Temu? No, probably not. Probably not. But does that mean I'm not willing to try? No, I'm willing to try. So Poudriere, this is a very popular brand on Temu, and I came across this affordable lip gloss in a nude color. So let's try it. So probably not a fair judgment of color because I already have lipstick on. Then when I opened up the package, it says plumping. I haven't tried it on yet, so I don't know how plumping is plumping. I hate plumping stuff. Oopsie. But plumping, just FYI, will dry out your lips. So if you have an issue with dry lips right now because of the season, I don't recommend plumping stuff. It's watery. It's watery and I'm eating it. And it is plumping. But it is opaque. Look at those perfect little lips. Whoop. This is one that's going to get on your teeth. You're going to eat it and you're going to taste that spice on your tongue. Ugh. Ugh. Do not recommend. Where are my tissues? I got to dig for my tissues. I know they're here. No, that's not where I put them. Because I changed everything, I put them over here. I was looking right at them. Yeah. Let's see if we can take this down a notch. I mean, it's not super spicy, but it is spicy and I'm eating it and it tastes grody. Grody. Okay, let's put on some wigs, shall we? Shall we have fun and look at some weird wacko wigs? Let's, shall we? So I decided to try the most comical one on for you first. Now, there's just not enough, I don't think, coverage right here. So I feel like if we had just a little bit extra longer layers here, to kind of blend this in a little bit better, I think that would have been like perfect. I can't really bring this back any further because then I'll really lose real estate here. So I do have to bring it down a little bit further. There's things that I can do to play with this. Obviously, like I said, I would probably straighten it, take a little bit of a heat comb to it, try to do something with it to, you know, relieve some of the bizarre kinks that are in it. Like this little guy who's just having fun and trying to go to town without everybody else. That one's like, I dance to the beat of my own drum, but here's the top. That stupid little spiral drives me bonkers. I'm kind of a tall galley, so overall people aren't really going to see it unless they're looking at the top of my head or I'm bending over. But here's the back of it. I've seen some better mullets. I have. I think Amazon and TikTok Shop have some better mullets. I may look into May look into that. I don't know. I was feeling funky this day that I picked this up. I've been kind of feeling funky. I've been a little like, little couldn't tell, discombobulated, a little out of it, not quite myself. But yeah, there's my mullet, which is doing, there we go. Couldn't find the part that was in my eyeball. There we go. If I was to do another mullet, I would go with a dark shade. But this listing only had 2 different shades of blonde, and it was like under 10 bucks. Clearly. But let me show you the last and final Temu wig that I have for today's Temu haul. But just FYI, I do have another one coming. I'm excited to try that one on. Super duper deal. I think it was like a $30 wig that ended up getting under $10 because of discounts and all this kind of stuff. So I know I said that I was done with the Temu wigs, but I was being so good and not doing Temu wigs, and I'm just like, push that buy now button. All right, let me show you this last one. Okay, now hear me out. Israel likes this one. He really likes this one on me. And when I first put it on, and if I don't do anything to it, it kind of makes me look masculine, but in anime kind of way. Okay, but the more I fiddle with it, I have really kind of liked some of the ways that or some of the kind of the style that I'm able to kind of get out of it. And again, a lot of times your wigs, you guys, are not going to come out of the package all beautiful and perfect. There's things that you got to do to it. There's ways that you've got to figure out how to fashion it to make it work for your head, your face shape. If you need to add more volume, if you need to take away volume, if you need to add in a side part, if it comes with a center part and you don't want a center part, there's all kinds of different stuff that you can do to make a wig more your own, right? And sometimes it's just as easy as doing what I just did, which was finger combing it, positioning it to a place that I prefer it to be. But overall, this has a lot of potential, being that it's like hoodie weather, sweater weather, big thick jacket with a hood weather. A lot of times your longer hair is going to tangle and snag and all that stuff. And it's really hard on a long-haired wig, especially for a synthetic wig. It can damage it prematurely. So having short wigs in weather like this is a great option for you. But this is what it looks like in the back. It's so much cuter in the back than it is in the front on me. But when I put this on my little head mannequin, it was gorgeous on her because she's got a different head shape than I do. My little mannequin has got like the perfect head, right? Of course, she's a cookie cutter head. I'm going to show this to you with a bandana, headband kind of a situation, and show you how I have worn it and how I like it. So again, you know, it's just very, very shaggy. It's very fluttery. This is the style that came out of the bag, and I love it. I love all of these different wispy, no rhyme, no reason, feathery, flippy layers to it. I think it's absolutely adorable. And I think straight out of the package on a like a more slender face, I don't know. What do you guys think of it this way? This is basically straight out of the bag. Did nothing to it. But I'm gonna put on a little headband, and then you tell me which way you prefer. Ta-da! I think it's cute with a little headband. I think it's absolutely cute with a little headband. Little wispies. I mean, I don't have it perfected beautifully. I just threw something on, but you know, you know, there's things you can do. There are things you can do to play up a wig, and this is just one of them. This is just one of them, so it just goes to show you, even though it comes out of the bag and you're like, I don't know about this one, play with it. Play with it a little bit. Here is your sign. Here is your sign to experiment and play and have fun, accessorize, try different things, whether it's clips, barrettes, headbands, little beanie caps, whatever it is, that if you don't like a wig and it's just giving you grief one way or another, if you don't like the hard front and you'd want to hide that, you just smush her down some hair and slap on a headband, ta-da! Problem fixed. And that's all I have for you guys today. As always, thank you so much for sticking out with me today on another video. Again, if you guys choose to help me adopt Miss Pebbles, every little bit counts, and I will be eternally grateful for you doing so, and I'm sure she will be also if she does end up being able to come home with me. If you are new here, I would love it if you considered subscribing. It is free for you, fun for me. Yay! Also, don't forget, like, share, all that good fun stuff. Hype button down below. Give me a hype if you got a free one. I would also greatly super duper appreciate that. But until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye, guys.